What's up everyone, Andy here from 4K Downtime, here to bring you an overall thought of the Nintendo Direct that just went down. I want to quickly just give in my thoughts while my memory of it is still fresh. See what I did there. But yeah, overall I just want to quickly say that I personally thought it was very good. It showed there was a good amount of stuff in there, some stuff that was heavily rumored that we pretty much can say no, it's coming. Again, that's the thing with rumors, right? You never can tell whether or not they're right. Well, today we got a good confirmation on a good chunk of them, and many of the games that were announced, I will admit, they were rumored, but again, we didn't know whether or not they were true. So I just want to quickly go through a rundown of all the games that they've showed. So first off, let's start with 3DS. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because, to be fair, they didn't spend that much time. So just a quick little rundown. So there's WarioWare Gold, which is in the WarioWare series. I love those games, but I'm not too sure if I'm going to buy this one. It looks fun, don't get me wrong, but I think I'm just too caught up with the Switch at the moment. I don't know whether I'll really jump back onto the 3DS. Again, the game could be absolutely amazing. I'm not even going to doubt it that it's not going to be a great game, but I'm just not too sure at the moment. I'll probably see what game is coming out at that time. If there isn't too much exciting going on, then yeah, I'll probably buy it. But moving on real quickly, there's Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers, which is a game that I don't really know much about, but it looks interesting. Graphics were nice. Then we have the Mario Luigi Bowser Inside Story plus Bowser Jr. as well. That one, again, very interesting, but I've kind of grew tired a little bit of Mario and Luigi as games, and because they come out fairly regularly, I'm just kind of and I don't see that much difference in this one, but interesting concept, the fact that you're inside Bowser's belly, that in itself was pretty hilarious to me. The most interesting one out of all of them by far was definitely the remake of the first Luigi's Mansion. I love Dark Moon, and with this one, again, depend on what time it comes out, I can see myself picking it up and probably play through as well. I love the original Luigi's Mansion, so just to see it getting remake, it's not bad at all, and it looks pretty good. It looks pretty faithful as well as a remake goes. Then of course, Kirby, like I said before, giving it one final push. I'm kind of glad to know that there's some returning old characters coming back as free DLC, so that's pretty cool. The Sushi Ninja game, again, not much to really say about that. It just looks like another typical puzzle kind of actiony kind of game. Looks interesting though, looks nice, but not too much to add on that one. Then quite a bit of not really I would say surprising, but Okami HD. Now Okami, to me, it's one of the best, I would say, Zelda clones, because it was heavily inspired by Zelda, although it's a bit more action oriented than Zelda. But I've always loved it, the fact that the world is so colorful. I know the story, technically speaking, was all over the place. One of my biggest problems with the story originally was just the fact that it felt like it was 3 separate stories jammed into one. It almost felt like I played a trilogy of games rather than separate games with with one single narrative, because there was it almost felt like you beat that boss, then you realized that there was a second one, then finally you realized there was a third one. But gameplay as a whole was absolutely solid. I love the look of the game, and it's great to see it's coming onto the Switch. It seems like a perfect fit. The art style, like I said, amazing. It looks fantastic. Not much to really add on that, but I think I'll probably buy. Again, it depends on how much Capcom is pricing it. It really sometimes goes down to that. Now, then we finally get a first look on Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, and I will be very, very honest. From the looks of it, it looks like a budgeted title. Compared to No More Heroes 1 and 2, it almost seems like it plays nothing like No More Heroes, and that to me, I'm not too sure what to feel of it at the moment. My opinion of it so far is a bit mixed. On one hand, I felt like it could be very fun, from what I've seen of it, the combats and everything like that. It looks like a very arcadey type of game this time, instead of the way the hack and slash gameplay of the older ones. Again, this one is just one of those, I'm very mixed at it at the moment, because I love the old No More Heroes gameplay, and I'm a bit upset to see they've changed it now. But I mean, I'll keep an open mind, because like, to be fair, they never really flat out said that it was a sequel to the first 2 games, and it has been hinted at that it could potentially be different. I mean, it looks like a budget title. Essentially, it really does look like an indie game, which doesn't really surprise me in any way, just purely because Suda51 have actually said yet that he has been working with other indie developers, so maybe that's why it looks more like an indie game. But again, I need to see more of this. It's great that we actually had a good look at it, but I'm just not too sure. Like I said, my overall opinions of it, it's really mixed at the moment. But anyway, moving on. Now this one, I am really looking forward to, and I'm so glad that they finally gave us a release date. Octopath Travelers. I already knew that this is probably going to be the name that they're going with because it just makes so much sense. I like the two new characters that they've introduced. The mechanics are all great. I love what I'm seeing at the moment. I always thought this game just looks fucking gorgeous, like absolutely gorgeous. Like, if there was to ever remake Final Fantasy VI, yeah, they need to do it like this. Absolutely. I love the collector's edition as well. I love that pop-up book that they showed. Definitely will be pre-ordering this and buying it day one, and I'm glad that it's coming out in July. I forgot the precise date, but it's mid-July, I believe. Definitely picking out that because I thought this was actually going to be one of those games that comes out at the end of the year, so I'm kind of glad that it gets coming out a little bit earlier than that. But yeah, this one an absolute buy, no doubt about it. Then Dark Souls the Remastered. With this one, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really the biggest Dark Souls fan. I've tried it before and I was never really able to get into it. It just didn't really seem like my kind of game, although I am interested to know that they are putting in a network test just to see how it is and everything like that. I'll probably try it out once the test comes on, but can I see myself buying it? Maybe not. Like I said, I already tried to get into it. I tried the first one and then I tried the third one as well, and it just felt like it wasn't really for me. Now then the next one, which is surprisingly enough, it's the one that obviously probably the one that most people wasn't really looking forward to, Mario Tennis Ace. I would say this right now, I'm actually really looking forward to this game now that they've actually talked a bit more about it. I love the new the way how the mechanics are now. Like, you know, you could be offensive and defensive, and there's different shots and like, you know, offensive move as well as defensive moves, and the trick shots, the special. I think like the special one was probably the one that I was expecting it to be there anyway, those special shots. But I love how the game, it's like, aside from being skill based, like it seems to be a lot more skill based than the past ones, and I just like the overall the shots that they, like, you know, added. It seems like it could really change the tide. It almost feels like even if you're on the losing end, you can change the tide depending on how well you time, like in blocking, and then, like, you know, knowing the perfect time to use your shots, whether or not you want to try to break your opponent's racket and all that. Those seems pretty good. It also felt like this Mario Tennis game can be quite intense, like especially if you're playing it with 2 live players. Who knows what they're doing. The story mode, they briefly glimpsed over it once again, but I've really dig the mechanics of this one this time. So if anything, again, they've not announced that there will be a test, like, you know, one of, like, basically similar to ARMS and Splatoon when they did the test fire and that kind of stuff. They're doing it with Mario Tennis Ace as well. I definitely will be checking out because I am actually really impressed by what they've added to it. It seems like they really want to change up the way how it's been played this time, and you know what, I'm kind of glad that Nintendo is trying to bring something new to the Mario Tennis series. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I can't say whether or not if I'm going to buy it, but I'm definitely intrigued by it. Then of course we have Undertale that's announced for the Switch. They just said more information will be coming soon, but Undertale is a pretty big game. Like, I've heard a lot of people talk about it before, so it was interesting to see it coming to the Switch. So, but then again, not much to say because they didn't really show much. Then Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is coming to the Switch with new content, but never really cared for Captain Toad even when it was on the Wii U. I own the Wii U, but I never actually bought it. But I could definitely see people who love this kind of puzzle solving kind of game will probably like it. They are adding new content, some levels for Mario Odyssey, which I think it's great. Like, yeah, I can't really add much to it. It's just like, it's not really my kind of game, but there's definitely an audience for it because as far as I know, it's sold okay. Next up, it was one of those heavily rumored game, is Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy coming to Nintendo Switch, and from what I looked of it, it looks great. And for someone who hasn't played it yet, I'm definitely interested in picking it up. And once again, I forgot what the announce date was, because like my memory is just so fizzed out right now. But I definitely will be picking up this one. I hope, like, you know, it's not going to be too expensive, because this game was a discounted game when it came out on the PS4. So hopefully they're not going to sell it for $54.99 or some shit like that. Like, please don't, because this game can potentially sell very well on the Switch, and I think whether or not if it's going to sell well really will boil down to the price. So hopefully they know what they're Activision know what they're doing. Just release at a reasonable price, and I could guarantee you people will want it. Then the next game, again another heavily rumored one, South Park: The Fractured But Whole, coming to the Switch as well. However, one thing about this that shocked me a little bit, and maybe I just missed it or something like that, but they didn't say that it was going to include a copy of Stick of Truth, and I hope that's not the case, because at the end of the day, yeah, it's like the other two consoles that had it had the first game. So if they release this one on the Switch and they said that they're not having the first game, it will be the biggest what the F. Like, you know, so hopefully Ubisoft know what they're doing and make sure they package the first game as well. Maybe they did announce it, but I literally don't remember hearing them say it. So maybe they did, but it's definitely a welcome third-party game. Again, similar to Crash as well. It's only 1 year old. It was not that long, and this is the kind of third-party games I'm talking about. I don't want ports that are too old. Ports that are fairly recent is fine. And speaking about ports here, I don't want to lose topic here, but I just want to go off track a little bit and say that Wolfenstein, surprisingly enough, didn't got shown here, and I was a bit shocked because I literally thought it was going to be here. So if it's not here, chances are maybe it still isn't ready yet, which is not that good of a sign. I just hope that's not anything major, but that's just something I want to point out. Then, of course, the second last news that they talked about is Splatoon 2 is finally going to have its first paid DLC. Where they announced it's going to be $19.99. So over here is about £15 over here in the UK. Not too expensive, and from the looks of it, it's obviously a new story campaign. How long is it? Once again, during trailers like these, you can't really tell how long they're actually going to be, but I'm intrigued. It looks like much darker. It's not as colorful as the actual Splatoon 2 campaign. So, and it seems like it's going to be a lot more new gears as well. I'm really looking forward to it, because again, one thing I like about Nintendo's season passes is that they're not too ludicrous. Like, you know, the amount that they're asking for, usually they provide just about the right amount of content for the price that they were asking for. So I'm pretty sure, like, you know, Splatoon 2 will at least definitely provide me £15 worth of content. So looks interesting. I'm definitely going to buy it because I do love Splatoon 2. And then comes to the very last final announcement that they did. First, I thought it was just going to be something Splatoon related, because what they showed is two Inklings, the Orange Girl versus the Orange Blue, in this pretty intensive Splatfest, like, you know, kind of competition where they were just fighting and everything like that. And it looks really cool, actually. It's brilliantly animated. And then suddenly it went black, like, and then there's this burst of orange flame behind them, and then this the Splatoon girl turned around, and in her eyes you could see the Smash Brothers logo, and then you just saw that big flaming Smash Brothers logo, and then you see all the other Nintendo characters there. They showed a glimpse of Mario, a glimpse of Link, which if you paid really close attention, you will notice that Link is the Link from Breath of the Wild. He has no, because he has no hat. And all it says here, and this is, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of debates with this, is like whether or not if it's Smash 4 on the Wii U, or is it the next Smash Brothers game, because all it said was Smash Brothers, and then it just says Nintendo Switch 2018, that's coming out this year. In all honesty, because they say it's coming out this year, I really doubt it that it's Smash 5. I don't think it's Smash 5 at all, because if it's coming out this year, like, you're literally talking about it now. Usually Nintendo talk about, like, you know, their next Smash about at least 1 year before they actually before it actually comes out. If it's coming out this year, then technically, like, we're already, like, what, 3 months in, like, well, almost 3 months in already. So yeah, I'm placing my money that it's definitely Smash 4, but just with a lot more costumes and that kind of stuff. So they're gonna add like obviously the Inklings in it, and then add maybe a lot of the new costumes. Like I said, in that trailer you can see that Link is the Breath of the Wild Link, so obviously they're gonna probably add the Breath of the Wild costume in there. But other than that, it's yeah, despite that they didn't say it's for Wii U, but I do have a very strong feeling it's probably Smash 4. I just don't believe that it's Smash 5. But yeah, like those were my initial thoughts on it. Like again, I'm literally making this like, you know, right after I finished watching it, so again, maybe some of my opinions will change, but I do believe overall, like, you know, this direct was really good. I personally really enjoyed it. I felt like they crammed in just about enough for a 30 minutes video, and they gave us a lot of, what I liked about it is that a lot of these games, they did give us concrete release dates, because that was one of my issues sometimes with Nintendo Directs, is where they make these announcements but then they are so unclear about its release date, or they don't give us enough information. So I felt like most of the games here, yeah, the ones that they can give us more information, they did. The ones that didn't are obviously like, you know, a little bit more further down the line. But anyway guys, let me know what you guys think, and did you thought like the direct was great? Did you thought it was just meh? And you can comment below and we could like discuss this. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. As usual, if you like this video, please consider subscribing and give it a like. It really helps out. If not, hit a dislike, and I'll be seeing you guys soon. Have a great one guys. Take care.